right, y'all, this is part two. So I was saying I had to decide for myself. I had to make a decision, and I promise you, when I started learning how to do that and apply that changed my life. That changed my life. The emperor energy, and I don't know, I just really equate that to emperor energy, right? Because rulers, kings, leaders, presidents, they make decisions. They make decisions. They sign off on decisions, and then it becomes law, right? Yeah, like you make the laws. Oh my goodness. So like the emperor, like you make the laws for your kingdom, for your world. And and here's why. Oh, good. I love how it's all coming together. Yourself. You start with yourself. You start with yourself. Because ain't no way you can be making decisions and laws and regulations for a village or a community of people and you don't even know how to govern yourself. You don't even know what it is you really want. You don't even know what it is you really need. You don't know how to go get those needs. You don't know how to clean up your space when it comes to uh, things that you're involved in, friendships you're involved in, relationships you're involved in. Like, if you cannot regulate yourself, and I'll go even so far as to say, like, yourself apart from anyone else. So, like, your emotions, your thoughts, your nutritional needs, or whatever, like anything that just has to do with just you. Like, if you can't take care of that, how can you take care of anybody else? How can you run a kingdom? How can you oversee and take care of a village? How can you lead a group or an organization? How can you head a family? How can you be the head of a household beyond yourself or even of just yourself? And you wanna know what? Oh gosh, I have come across a lot of men who ain't able to do that. They're not the emperors of their spaces. And now I'm speaking gender. I'm talking men because I'm a woman who primarily dates men. I say primarily because I have dated a woman before, but I'm not really interested in dating women. Um, Men, they're not the emperors of their spaces. I met multiple guys, and it's like, but they want you to treat them like they're the emperor of y'all's situation. You ain't even emperor of your own self. What do you mean? You're not even an emperor. You're not the kingdom of your own mind, or the kingdom of your own mind. You're not the king of your own kingdom, aka your mind. You regurgitate thoughts and ideologies and beliefs that somebody else injected into you, and you have not evolved to where you actually know whether you truly align with those or not. You haven't evolved and really like chewed on those things. It's just somebody told you, you took it and you kept on going with it. And it's like, I don't like that kind of living. Nope. So as a woman, I had to get out of the space of being the feminine counterpart, the female counterpart in a relationship, and looking to the man to lead because that was something that I was about coming up, being raised in the church. That was something I was about, and it was something that I felt that I was actually attracted to, like a strong male leader, which that is very true. I was genuinely attracted to like a strong male leader, but the problem with that is that I'm only just now realizing I was sincerely attracted to that because that's what already was inside of me. A strong male leader, an emperor. Like that was already inside of me. And so then it's almost like I would repress that and look for that in a man outside of myself and be regularly disappointed because it's like I know what it should look like or but the problem was I just needed to be that myself. I just need to be that myself and get out of the whole systemic belief or setup of, well, women, they're not supposed to be that. That's supposed to be the man, and da 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 da, and all this woman in the kitchen, nurturing, mother, da da da, all that BS. It's like, nope. I had to become that for myself. And you know what? Well, first of all, let me just point out that that does relate to the Queen of Wands card that came out next to the Emperor card. Okay, so just letting y'all know that's the second tarot card, the Queen of Wands card that came out next to the Emperor card. So it's like the Queen of Wands becoming the Emperor, period. And so, but with that, I want to say that there was a part of that same conversation that I was having with that coworker who I was venting to. He's a cool dude, right? Like I was visiting him for a reason. Like he's a cool dude. Okay, but then one part, so he starts explaining, he starts going more into depth about like his mindset about like relationships and how they occur and you know, so he starts talking about how like he recognizes how a lot of women are made to be single and well raised to be single and thus without a man. So it's like, okay, no, you're speaking truth, right? But what I noticed was when he said without a man, like said she ain't got no man, ain't got no man. And the way he was saying it was as if now that's a deficit for the woman. And it's no shade to him because that has been the teaching. We're the same age, so we came up same time, uh, on two different parts of the country, but still the same message of, you need to get you a man, you know, you want to get married, and not just get married, because that's simplifying it. You want to get you a man who's going to propose to you, who's going to decide to propose to you and make you his wife, not just get married. How do you get married? And then they're saying get married, you don't propose to the man. He got to propose to you. He has to decide to propose to you. He has to buy the ring. So all of these different ways you have to submit yourself to the leadership of a man who is going to decide that you are going to be his woman. All this shit and regularly, over and over again, I was going to say the wrong word. I have met men who don't even know how to make an executive decision on where to go for a date. Okay, like seriously. And maybe that's just because of my life and the life that I have had to journey for my own soul's destiny and, my own life path, because we all are not on the same life path. Again, individual. We are not communal. Like, that's just my belief. Like, we are not communal beings. We are not to be communal. We are to be individual, and we're each to tap into our own inner kingdom, take over that shit, and then manifest that shit on the outside. Like, you have a whole world inside of you that you can bring outwards to become your reality. So anyway, going back also to that conversation, because he said, yeah, like, a lot of women, just this concept of not having a man, again, like it's some deficit. And so then I had to let him know it wasn't an argument at all, but I did offer him, because that's true. He's not lying. Like that happens a lot, especially in our black community. We're both black. And but then I tell him, me having traveled the path of a lover, somebody who when I'm in a connection, I'm serious about it. I ain't playing about it. And over and over and over and over, the dude ends up playing. The dude ends up wanting to act toxic because they see that as being something that works. They feel intimidated and so they feel like they have to get ugly, secretly ugly in order to maintain my attention or maintain attachment to me. And then for me, that does not work. You know, and so I don't know, it kind of offered him just another perspective as well because it's like I'm not the one ruining the relationships that I was in. And this is me being a very reflective person. I'll be the one to end them because what you're not going to do is ruin my life. But what I was just saying about that example, I ended that thing after months, even with the little 1, 2 month break we had. I'm not counting that. We were attached energetically for almost a year. Yeah, just about a year. We were attached energetically. Um, And yeah, formally dating for a couple of months, but then, even without the formally dating, we were still very much enmeshed, regardless of whether he was my boyfriend or not. He was my person. He was my person. And I acted with him as if he was my person. I was there for him as if he was my person. He was a priority to me, you know? So again, it's like it's not this whole shit of well, she ain't got no man. Yeah, at this point, that's about to become a fucking badge of honor. Let me just say that. You know what I mean? Like a huge badge of honor because guess what? Having a man in my life has not typically been beneficial for me. It is beneficial for the man. Even with, and mind you, this is coming from somebody who I don't even naturally align with the discourse out there across the internet. Um, Regarding like women, I don't even know what the B stands for. This is how like literally like the 4B movement. I don't even know what the B stands for, but I know it has to do with women basically not dealing with men in some in different ways. And I know of different women who have huge platforms to talk about like just not dealing with men at all. And I don't even naturally align with that. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even naturally align with that because I'm a lover and I love love. And I be I be wanting to hold out hope, for that, real love is possible and exists. Like that is what I align with naturally. Like I even just went somewhere else in my head, like just saying that out loud. Like that is my natural energy, like is love and romance. Like I'm fifth house energy. My sun sign is in my fifth house, and that is the house of romance, you know, um, passion, creativity. That's the house where babies are made. You know what I mean? Like that is my natural energy. And so it is harder for me actually to go to adopt a belief that I now am more so adopting, which is and it's not just adopting it, it's because of what I've been through. Um, which is that of like no, like at this point, not having a man is the benefit because and one thing I have learned from that other discourse that I say is not easy for me to align with, but they are right. Men benefit from women more so, definitely greatly more so, in these marriages and these relationships and these emotional contracts. Like it is regularly seen, it's realized like men greatly are the benefactors of those relationships. And also, it's not just from observation, it's from my own experience. Men have benefited off of my emotional energy, sexual energy, my mental energy, my financial energy, um, my energy of stability, um, my leadership energy, my ability to make decisions, my ability to make plans, to take care of responsibilities, to fill in gaps that are there. Like I often am the one being benefited off of by men. This is what I'm saying, y'all. Like, and this is not a from our adoption of a discourse. This is my experience at 36 years old. This has been what life has taught me. I, that quote, that stupid ass quote, I never understood it growing up. I can do bad all by myself. I would question that shit like, bad? Like, why bad? Like, what do you mean? Because my thought was, even at a younger age, was, well, I would think that you would do better by yourself, right? If you're breaking up with somebody that is who you're having issues with, that you would do better by yourself, right? So I even didn't understand it with oh no, that was different. Well yeah, so that was the thing. Like I never really understood that. Like I could do bad all by myself. And it's like, no, but I'm doing good by myself. Like, and I think that that was something I struggled with because even as a youth, even when I was younger, I was somebody who usually I decided the way that I was going. I was never a follower. Anytime I did sacrifice myself to following someone else, it went bad. So it rarely happened because I learned from my experience. So those rare times I would follow a friend or follow somebody else or follow a crowd and it would go bad, it rarely happened because I learned so fast. So I typically was a leader of others, or I'm just by myself. Most of the time, I'm by myself. So I never really understood the essence of that little quote right there. Like, I can do bad all by myself. Like, no, because by myself, I do better. I do great, actually. I do my best by myself. And so I think for myself, at least, my life now as an adult, it's just really becoming, it's just showing that more and more and more. Like, that was always at my core, that I am at my core an emperor, regardless of the fact that I'm a woman. At my core, I'm a king. At my core, I'm a ruler. At my core, I am the source of my reality, literally. And every person is. So this is why I get frustrated with the human race, because I feel like this is an area where again we shortchange ourselves, because e- especially when it comes to when I'm and I go in on the whole man situation, because even where I work, it's a lot of men in charge. And then being a woman who's attracted to men, who's more so heterosexual, um, so then it frustrates me when I meet men and I get to know men, and it's like, you are so not an emperor, not even a king, because an emperor is made up of multiple kings. You're not even one of the kings, and it frustrates me. But I think, at least in my mind and from my perspective, what's happening is the dismantling of this idea that the man has to lead, right? The man has to be the leader. The man has to be the head of the household. The man has to be the CEO. The CEO needs to be a man. you know, the boss is no, 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 all around. And just like my coworker with his mindset of, you know, a lot of the women, now they don't got no man because da, 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 da. And it's like a little ding, it's supposed to be like a little ding towards women, because I don't got no man. But guess what? Let's just flip that, because the men that I don't have, they don't have me. Do you feel me what I'm saying? I am the one who, in a connection, for the most part, in my experience, has made the connection what it was. I am the one who was providing the substance to that connection. And you know what? That is the natural way. And that's what I'm getting now. Like, a man who understands the value of a woman knows that he's going to pursue a woman and make a woman a part of his life, because he knows that she's going to make his life better. And he's going to appreciate that, and he's going to return the favor for her because of that. He's going to take care of her because of that, because he knows what she is bringing, and knows that she makes his life better. Um, and so thus he knows then why he is pursuing a woman. It that is, I think, more so lost on this generation of life. And so I honestly feel like, even for myself, from my perspective, for my own life, relationships have taken a downward, downward. The, the concept and value of relationships have been hugely demoted in my life. Like, they're not important at this point in my life. They're not important. Um, And you have to be aware of what your life path is, because not everybody's life path is the same. Some people's life path is to, there's many different life paths. So some people's life path is to learn how to be in a relationship. Maybe somebody's life path as a woman is to learn how to be a great woman to her husband or her family, or a great mother. Maybe a person's life path is not to be a wife, but it is to be a mother. So her focus is on how to be a great mother to her children. No man present. Okay, maybe the man, either he's just not there or he died, passed away. Who knows? Some people's life path is to travel more so alone. And we have to, I think that becomes more acceptable to understand how this could be When you realize that life does happen in cycles, and I am somebody who does believe in past lives because I feel that our human self is just like a package. It's like the assignment for our soul, but our soul has had previous assignments. So like your soul came back to learn some more, to evolve some more, to grow some more, and that is why I say it is a disadvantage when we are not um at least when given the opportunity to do so, to evolve in an individual manner, you don't. When you choose not to, you're shortchanging yourself, because how are you going to create your own anything if you can't even leave the idea, get away from the idea that you must remain connected to your mama's titty your whole life, man or woman? Really, I see a lot of men doing that. But you know, if you yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the cards. So I'm looking at the cards and I see the Emperor, the Queen of Wands. So this is the idea of the Queen of Wands becoming the Emperor. So we're getting away from putting a gender on the Emperor energy. And also we're going towards what Jesus even said. That's why I hashtag Jesus in my description, because the message of Jesus was this, bro. Jesus was prophesying about this time. Um, he said in the Gospel of Thomas, and of course they don't want this Gospel of Thomas in the canonical Bible because this is truth, right? This is the harsh truth for men. He said, "I'm gonna make her like male, and when she becomes like male, she's gonna enter the kingdom of heaven." How is she gonna enter the kingdom of heaven? Because it's gonna be her own kingdom that she created right from inside of her, because she gonna realize it was within her all along. Before I started this part two, because I was saying the words, I decided. So then I thought of Solange's song, I Decided, and we all know the energy of Solange. Solange is definitely not shy of the fact that she possesses masculine energy. You know, um, I don't know a whole lot about Solange, but we all know about the elevator incident with her, Jay-Z and Beyonce, and like her having the people looking at her as being like the one that like, Beyonce gonna call her. Beyonce even got a call. She looking out for Beyonce, right? Like she's a fighter, and she don't play no shit. So, but I was hearing her song. I decided that you are the one for me. Um, so I looked up the lyrics because I don't know that song fully. But I see that it was made in 2008. Okay, so that was a 1 year. So that's interesting because this year is a 1 year. Um, let's see. She says, I was a little different. I didn't do what the fast girls do. Okay, so here we go. Already speaking to this different energy from the perspective of a woman. So she says, study my rhythm, now you can speed me up when you want to. They were too cool to run the race. You kept the pace, put the smile on your face. Go ahead, baby, go ahead, baby. Then I knew he was you. Then I know he was you. Okay, 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 okay. I love this. Y'all, I don't even know the song like that. Literally, I just know from heart. I decided that you are the one for me. Okay, but what she's saying with these lyrics that I did not know, she's literally saying like this man, because she's speaking about a man, she's saying this man was rooting her on. This man was cheering her on. This man, um, okay, let me say it again. I was a little different. I didn't do what the fast girls do. So I'm guessing that it's like the fast girls, meaning the girls who were chasing after the men, right? She says, study my rhythm. Now you can speed me up when you want to. So she's saying that he was studying her. He was observing her. He was pursuing her, and then he got her. So then he became the one that was able to move her, make her, like she submitted to him in a way. But he went after her. She says, they were too cool to run the race. You kept the pace, put the smile on your face. So she's saying like they were too cool. She's talking about other guys being too cool to run the race, other guys being too cool to chase her or pursue her, you know, because she's doing her own thing. She's not chasing like the other girls are doing. She's doing her own thing. She was different. And here he stands out because he notices her. He's not trying to be chased. He's wanting to go get her. And so she says, you kept the pace, put the smile on your face. So now I'm getting the vision of him being like on the sidelines. He her cheerleader. I just saw Love and Basketball, which I was just thinking about that movie the other day. I think about where he was like, no, I'm gonna be in the NBA. You gonna be my cheerleader. Um, and he said that because she was a girl. And what ended up happening at the end of the movie, she was playing in the WNBA and he was on the sidelines cheering with their baby. Okay. She says, you kept the pace, put the smile on your face. Go ahead, baby, go. So she's basically singing the cheer that he was saying. Like he is saying to her, go ahead, baby, go. And that's when she knew. She said, then I knew he was you. Then I know he was you. But first, you took me around, introduced me to your family and friends, and told them how once we met that we would never lose. Oh boy. I decided that you are the him for me. Oh boy, because I decided that you are the him for me. Yes, you are. Oh my boy. So yeah. So it's again this it's like this flip, y'all. It's this flip of energy. And that's funny because I did just watch the movie Flipped, where the little girl liked the little boy, and then he was rejecting her. But look how he was rejecting her because she was going after him. So she wasn't even, if she wasn't going after him, she couldn't be rejected. But anyway, he rejected her, right? So then growing up, they're going to the same school, and then she's narrating, and she's like, I eventually learned how to calm myself down. Like I started to gain self-control. And then fast forward, long story short, it gets to a point to where he's not liking, well, initially, he's not wanting her, liking her, whatever. Um, and then it flips to where he's obsessed. He just has to have her. He got to have her so much. He went ahead and got permission from her family to build a tree in her front yard, and that's what got her to come back to him, and you know, um um yeah, like unite with him or whatever. But when she was going after him, it wasn't working because that ain't even the natural way it's supposed to go. Like she if we just looking at feminine and masculine energy, not woman man, but feminine masculine energy. If she represents feminine energy and he represents masculine energy, like yeah, feminine doesn't pursue masculine because feminine energy is in alignment with receptive energy, masculine energy is in alignment with assertive energy. So it's like in this song as well, she's like, he asserted himself, but she was not asserting herself towards him. And I can be honest and say that I have often been the assertive one because, again, I'm fire moon. Um, my moon is fire, so when I feel, I go. When I feel, I make stuff happen. Like when I'm passionate, I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Like, and I've always been like naturally a leader more than a follower. And so I would never, not until I got older, I feel I wouldn't sit back on that just because like I'm with a dude. I don't know. It depends. Um, so yeah. So even just that alone of this song, um, hmm, yeah, I feel like running me down, telling me, tell me, wait, running me down. It's the way you got me when you got me, baby. Oh, now. Yeah, he pursued her when she was doing her own thing. I like that. So, um, but she made the decision at the end of the day. She was the one that decided, okay, it's me and you then. But he had to go. get her. And so I guess that also does go back to what I was saying, like how a man has to, in this society, the man proposes to the woman, but the woman does have to say yes or no. She will have to say yes or no. So at the end of the day, she will be the one deciding the final. Um, but then also, I don't know, because then you have the wedding and then it's I do or yeah, all that. But anyways, I think the part that really stands out there is for me, when it's, it's like basically that man pursued her, y'all. Like, and that's something that now is inside of me that is like when it comes to relationships and stuff, I really believe like the world needs to change so that men understand. Um, and I'm sorry, I'm going to say this word. This is what comes to mind. Men understand that when they worship a woman, or at the very least, when they worship femininity, um, and the power of femininity. I don't want people to think, oh, femininity, so then pink and soft and quiet. And no, I'm looking at the Queen of Wands. A queen is worshipped. So worship femininity, worship that type of power, that feminine power, like the way you can benefit. I don't know. Because now it's like I'm low key against trying to have men benefit anymore off of the power of a woman just because of what I've experienced and what I've seen, and really how the world has worked. The world has definitely worked and flourished by benefiting off of the energies that they oppress. And that's the worst. That's the worst. Mm-mm. That ain't supposed to be like that. Okay, the last tarot card though is the Four of Swords reversed. So y'all, this was just in alignment with Four of Swords reversed is like coming out of meditation, coming out of just being alone with your thoughts. This is reality. You know, this is I think going in alignment with again what I was saying, manifesting on the outside what's inside of you. So yet again, this is about the Emperor energy inside of a Queen of Wands energy and coming out to actually create the village, be the head of the village, but really making the reality around this character or this energy, um, basically like the other card said, come to life and bring it into form. Bring it outwards from inside of you into form and make it your life. Like I just can speak for my own because I do feel like this is greatly in alignment with my own life. Um, you know, my life has shifted from, um, or at least my realization of my life has switched from focusing on trying to uh, have a successful relationship with someone, with a man, uh, to being successful in my own right and being the emperor of my own life, being the king of my own kingdom, being the ruler of my own reality. Okay, for real. Because, and I just think that's the cycle of life. I just think that's the way life cycles. Um, because we have to go from being a patriarchy to being a matriarchy. That's where we're going to go in that direction because life happens in cycles, and I feel like that's the next destination for our world and the human race. And it's going to start at home. It's going to start in the individual with the individuals, um, and then it's going to become more, uh, more widespread, more common. It's going to become more common and widespread for women to be living in this Queen of Wands Emperor energy, heading their own households, whether they're alone or it's just them and their kids, or they're the ones in charge, perhaps with the man present. But I say, having that energy for myself from what I see and the wisdom that speaks in my mind says that's dangerous. You don't need to be a woman ruling. Being the head of a household and there is a man there who is supposed to be your guy, I just feel like that, to me, that screams danger. Like, um, if I had, if I was in those shoes of that kind of woman, I'd have to have my protection. Like, I'd have to have a gun. I'd have to, I just feel like because I think it's natural to natural to humanity, unfortunately, for men as well. And scriptures will even tell you this, like they'll grow to resent you, like because now the manhood that was curated by patriarchy in him is highly distressed and threatened. And yeah, he's gonna hurt you or your kids or all y'all. So that to me is not safe. I wouldn't myself put myself in that type of situation, but I also can see how those type of dynamics can exist safely. Um, I don't know what exactly would be going on inside of that kind of man that would be safe in that, that wouldn't be a danger in that kind of a dynamic. I don't know that kind of man, I don't think. Um, so I don't know how that could exist, but for myself, I wouldn't, I wouldn't. Do that. But yeah, anyway, I think that we're coming into this era or something of, the Queen of Wands Emperor energy. And one of the biggest things about becoming an emperor, um, or being an emperor is about making decisions and about taking up the rulership and the leadership of your own spaces. And then perhaps also the spaces that extend beyond you, like at work or wherever else you exist, you know. And I can definitely say that that is something happening for myself. Like I just again I realized a man in my life, from my experience, it just hasn't proven to be something that is beneficial to my energy and to my space. So, oh, I just heard ouch. Ouch in my mind. I heard ouch. But the world is changing, y'all. And again, I mean, I know it's not just me because what they say, birth rates being very low in our country right now, and are like at an all-time low or something like that. And the male loneliness epidemic and all that stuff, like it's actually real. It's actually happening. And I think that more women out there can also like relate to what I'm saying, which is like, yeah, because when I've been by myself, I've been better. That's why, again, that whole thing of I can do better by myself. Like, no, by myself, I do better. That makes no sense to me because by myself, I literally do better. I literally do better. I'm literally healthier. I'm literally more clear in my mind and in my energy. Uh, I'm literally at my best when I'm by myself. So far in life of 36 years, that's what I have learned. I'm at my best when I'm by myself. Wow. you know. So, what is this, 38 minutes? I'm gonna leave it here because I'm feeling like I'm starting to just say the same stuff over and over again. And I'm hungry. So, I need to eat. So, I don't know. I'm just at home today. No, I need to go to the store because I need to get some pants. I was just gonna say I'm at home today, so I might do some more readings. We'll see. I don't know. It's all about my energy and my intuition. I know right now I'm very, very hungry. So, I'm about to eat. Thank you for listening. If you have subscribed, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't, consider doing so. But that is up to you. Um, but no, for real, thank you for listening. And shout out to all of my Queen of Wands energies who are becoming the emperors of their lives. And also shout out to, if you do exist, the men who understand this change in our world and the need for this change in our world. And I'm gonna say, in the dynamics of love, it's all changing. It's all changing. The love is having a reset. It's love is on a reboot right now. Love has to be recalibrated because this world has fucked it up. Okay, this world has fucked love up, and love said, "Not me." Love is powerful. And I know this because I'm a lover. Love lives in me, for real. And love said, y'all not gonna get me wrong. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what I'm really about. Y'all may not know how to handle me for real, but you about to get to know me for real. I don't know. I'm just talking. I'm gonna end that here because both of these parts have now been very long. There will not be a part three. This is the end. So thank you for listening, and until next time, bye.